Dystopian cyberpunk settings have long had a design element of personal protective equipment from the dangers of a futuristic world. In yet another attempt by the universe to remind us that the line between fiction and reality is a fickle, ephemeral construct, we've seen signs of this in mask design prototypes at CES 2021. My favorite of them, and the one that I'm going to focus on for this video, is a quasi-futuristic mask prototype shown off by gaming accessories manufacturer Razer. In case you're watching this in the distant future from a public information archive to cite a primary source for your school paper, or you just somehow didn't know that masks are a thing, 2020 was the year a virus known as COVID-19 kicked off across the world and became a major pandemic. YouTube doesn't like the mention of this word, so just know I'm risking my future monetization to bring you the real important information. Anyway, mask wearing has been one of the biggest things we focused on as a society this year. Initial shortages led to experimentation by the private and public sectors, and many open source and experimental mask designs. Production has somewhat leveled out, and PPE is more or less widely available at this point, but it makes sense that companies looking to show their technological prowess might experiment in this area. This brings us to Razer's Project Hazel, pitched by the company as a prototype of the most intelligent mask design for the times. The mask features a prominent clear plastic shield, but unlike other face shield designs, actually does seal to the face for effective protection against aerosols. The two bulbous protrusions on the side of the mask act as active ventilators to help take in cool air and release excess heat, which is also designed to help with fogging. Additionally, each of these contains an N95 surgical respirator which is replaceable by the user. The clear window allows an easy view to the wearer's face, which is a very nice feature. Masks obviously obscure our facial features and expression, an important part of social communication. Not to be overlooked, some people with disabilities, such as deaf and hard of hearing people, rely on the lips and mouth for communication. I personally have had some dear deaf friends, and even as someone who can communicate some basics in sign language, I've seen firsthand how much lip reading can aid in communication. The mask also features automatic lighting so your mouth can still be seen in low light. Of course, this is Razer we're talking about, so the lighting design is as extra as they're famous for. The lighting system is user-controlled, and Razer claims the user has access to over 15 million specific color choices and visual effects to personalize their mask. Talking through a mask can be difficult, but the Project Hazel mask claims to have patent-pending technology which amplifies the voice through a microphone, using an analytic algorithm to project the voice in a clear and easy-to-understand manner. Finally, a mask is no good if it's not sanitary to begin with. This is not a major concern for viruses such as COVID, as they tend to be short-lived and not well transmitted from surfaces. However, buildup of other pathogens such as bacteria can be a major deal. Project Hazel is designed to be easy to clean with alcohol, and also features a charging case which uses UV light to sanitize the mask while the ventilators charge. Now that we've gone over the basics, I want to take a second to get into my thoughts on it. But before that, I'd like to ask you real quick to consider leaving a like, comment, or subscription if you're enjoying the video, as it really does help the growth of the channel. My response to this announcement is part excitement and part skepticism. It's not lost on me that this was a high design prototype unveiled at a consumer electronics show, and is still being introduced as only a prototype and a concept. Nowhere on the internet can I find anything about a projected price, release date, availability, or anything of the like. That makes me worry that perhaps this is more about advertising and publicity for Razer than an actual release. One major obstacle is timing. Although we're still in the thick of the pandemic currently, product design all the way to release takes a significant amount of time. There is a very real possibility that the threat of the current pandemic will be over before the product could make it to market. Part of me thinks that Razer is probably aware of this, and that could be why they're avoiding committing to anything in regards of a release. Spending good money on a mask is a hard sell as it is. The bottom may drop out of the market much sooner than a product could be brought to bear. That doesn't mean investing in the technology isn't useful though. Statistically speaking, the rate of epidemic viruses capable of causing pandemic is increasing according to scientists, who warn we are at an increased risk of much more widespread pathogens due to factors such as factory farming and increased global connectivity. If we are indeed looking at a future where novel virus transmission may be a recurring threat, I think innovation in the field of personal protection for non-medical personnel is a worthwhile endeavor. Personally, I'm an ardent mask wearer in public currently, and I'd be very interested in testing out a mask for myself, depending on timing and cost. I don't mind the overall design of the mask, but I find the RGB to be gaudy, and I have no doubt that it's going to increase the sticker price. If they could bring a simplified version to market with just a simple white LED, I'd be much more interested in that. That's all I have to say today about Razer's Project Hazel. Let me know what you guys think, if you'd wear something like this or if you'd be too embarrassed to wear it in public. Feel free to drop any more sci-fi news you may come across to be covered in the future. Until next time, it's been a pleasure as always. Thank you.